So Darren here. This is my second camping trip of the year, probably going to be one of many. It might even become a permanent situation. This is where my mind is at, especially with Keir Starmer government looming. And I'm walking through a village right now called Walkhampton. It's probably a mile or so away from Yelverton. I've been walking for about half an hour or so, and I'm headed towards some hills in the distance. In fact, I'm going to a place called Merrivale. It's surrounded by tors. It's a very spiritual place. It's got some old settlements there, some rocks that are like thousands and thousands of years old, 5,000 years old, and I might even see the caretaker there, who I go and see once a year. So it's a bit early. He's probably not out. He's getting quite old now. A guy called Roger, who I keep meaning to get on my show on TNT Radio. And he's full of all sorts of weird and wonderful information. We've had some right chats about the pyramids and UFOs, and you know, he's in his probably 70s, and he goes up there and he cuts the grass around all the stones and all the old settlements and stuff that were there. And he didn't have COVID. He knew it was a scam, didn't he? Didn't you, Rog? Anyway, that's where I'm going. I'll go and see if I can find Roger at Merrivale. Yeah, the weather's quite nice. It's a bit cloudy. It's been raining intermittently. Got a new rucksack, and I've got about 15 kilos on my back. It's 14.8 kilos to be exact. I've got a new tent, all sorts. Anyway, mission number 2 is on its way. I think you might be able, I'm going to use my other camera, but in the background there's one there. Look, that's the sort of direction I'm hopefully going to head in. This fucking massive granite tor. You can see the granite from where I'm standing, and actually it's granite that I am mostly interested in today. As a chemist, I've got a thing about rocks, and I particularly like granite because it's super strong, super hard, and super heavy. And some of the structures that are out in Dartmoor, they're all made of granite. And the question I always ask is, alright, there's a lot of granite around, but couldn't you use smaller blocks? They use fucking massive blocks. How do they move them? I don't know. 5,000 years ago, Merrivale and the tors of Dartmoor, all where I'm headed at the moment. One day, I'll have a house like that. Once I've walked all the way around the world, I'm going to have a house like that. Houses like this dotted, like every mile or so, on these like windy country lanes I'm on Dartmoor, every mile. That'd be perfect, wouldn't it? It'd be a really good place to build the nuclear bunker that I've always planned for. It's on my bucket list. Why I do it, why I've been doing it, look at this shit. Isn't it beautiful? Well, on the country lane, sorry. Simply because the ground is so wet, it's not worth walking on at the moment. I will have to go off country in a bit. Off road we go for the next mile or two, mile and a half, 2 miles, somewhere around there to Merrivale. Now we're off cross country, and I suspect speed on a road like this, and I'll show you a better picture in a minute after this, is about a mile an hour, I reckon. We'll find out, won't we? This giant old granite quarry here between Princetown and Tavistock. It is the road between Princetown and Tavistock. And then it's somewhere in the distance there are some old settlements I want to go and find. And I've got a few hills to climb on the way to Foggintor, which I think is where I'm going to camp. And you should be able to see behind me a row of stones. No one's actually 100% certain what these stones are. They're dated about 5,000 years old, and apparently this is at Merrivale. According to Roger, who's not here. No Roger, damn shame, he's a fucking interesting bloke. These stones were used for like some sort of ceremonial purpose, that they would march along them. There's another set parallel, or not, are they parallel? Or they go off at an angle? I think they're parallel. There's a stone circle over there which we're going to have a look at, and about directly behind me, where I am going to go, suns in my eyes, there are a load of old stone hut ruins. So I'm just going to have a little wander around here, take some pictures, and then in the background there is Foggintor. So here I'm just following the stones. Okay, you see they go for quite a while. They're all made out of granite. They probably didn't originally look like this. These are apparently 5,000 years old, so they would have suffered quite a lot of water erosion. And can I just jump over? And at the head of each of these rows of stone, there is a big stone. You can see in the distance there. Can I zoom in? It's like a big stone. And there's always big stones like that. Also a leat here. You can see it's lined with granite stones. This travels between two sets of stones. I don't know if that's significant in any way, but nice source of fresh water. And the fact that it's lined with concrete, unless this is a recent structure that was added, which I doubt very much, and this is 5,000 years old as well, then it shows signs of pretty good, good intelligence and engineering skills. It's not easy to build waterways, particularly through this terrain. And another thing, I must have forgotten, I learned this from Roger when I come up to look at these stones for the very first time, and I brought up a bird, and I was like, what are the conditions like here, where 5,000 years ago, because it's obviously not really that hospitable now for people to live. It's barren, Dartmoor's barren. It would be where I'd come to only if there was a nuclear disaster. I'd come up here. I mean, there are sheep and animals, but there's no veg or fruit or anything like that, or any major sort of source of sustenance up here. Pretty barren. But 5,000 years ago, it was 5 degrees hotter, and all of this was woodland. Beautiful, beautiful woodland. And there was a thriving community of people who lived out here 5,000 years ago. And there are like signs of them everywhere. And when you go and have a look at the history books, fuck all, there's not very much written about it. So I find it fascinating, and I think the people who lived here 5,000 years ago had skills and knowledge and insights that we have lost over the eras, the millenniums. The other thing they had up here, no reason why I come here, in October time, November time, is brilliant for fucking magic mushrooms out here. And wherever you go and find magic mushrooms, you find these archaeological sites. Interesting, eh? And here's one of thousands of stone circles that dot Dartmoor, Exmoor, probably anywhere else where there's a moor in the name. And you have to ask, why did they build these stone circles? There's a giant stone here. Again, it's made of granite. This particular stone, I reckon, would probably weigh a couple of tons. It's not something you just throw around. Particularly if it's 5,000 years ago, you have to wonder, even with, did they pull it? Did they use animal power? Why did they use these big stones? What is it? It is of a particular interest to me. And here, not only you're not allowed to discuss climate change because it was 5 degrees warmer here 5,000 years ago, and there was a thriving society with food and animals and resources available to them, but you're also not allowed, I hope you can hear this alright, you're not allowed to dig here. And Roger is getting a lot of special mentions. He found a particular, what he said was a very unusual stone, and it's a secret, and he was going to tell me. And I said, next time I come up, he said, I might tell you. So he's not here. So maybe when I come back, I'm going to pass through here on my way to my next stop tomorrow. So maybe he'll be up here. And he cuts the grass. He cuts the grass of the stones, around the stones and stuff. Hopefully you can see what I'm saying. Fucking stunning views, man. Ruined by bloody cars. Sheep. I hate fucking sheep. Stay away from sheep. And here's all of this is ruins. And it does appear, and this is normal, that there's actually a giant ring of stone surrounding it. There are other places where the giant sort of boundaries of whatever these stone age settlements were can be seen in much better places like Grampians. So I think Grampians is definitely on the cards as a hike. That's a mission. So this is a nice. That won't be too bad, will it? To live in. And worst case scenario, I'll come down here and camp if necessary, because it's probably quite good in there. We're on top of, I believe it's Foggintor. It is Foggintor, I'm pretty sure. And you can see in the background, I've got a new tent. Look, isn't that good? Apart from, it doesn't seem to go up very well. It's not very taut, if that makes any sense. You can see it's not, it's a bit saggy, which is a bit sad. But it's much bigger, so, and it's actually probably perfect for coming up places like this. Apart from there's no fucking firewood here, which is a bit annoying. So that's my next mission. I'm gonna go find some firewood. 6:20, and I got some food on the go. Finally, no rain. So that's all good. Got some rice and some pork and some spinach, light spinach. And I got some firewood, but it's really wet. And I think the chances of me getting a fire going properly, not one just for fucking picture, just for, you know, clicks, which I'll get, but keeping a fire going or anything like that tonight, with what I've got, I think that wood's far, far, far too wet. Plenty of sheep bones down there, which is good if you don't like sheep, like me, but not good if you're out in the wild wondering why there's lots of fucking sheep bones down there, when there are rumoured to be big cats on Dartmoor. I'm gonna try to get a fire going. It's probably not the best place on the planet to have a fire going, simply because it's very visible from high up. But it's not going to stay. The wood's too wet. So this will be my last video. I'm gonna smoke some pot, and I'm probably gonna have a look on Twitter because I've got a signal here, which is amazing. And then I'm gonna have an early night, and then tomorrow I'm not sure where I'm going tomorrow. Probably gonna hike to Tavistock. So I got well below zero last night, I think. Tent froze over, ground's frozen over. I'm grateful for the air mat that I bought. It would have kept me warm. And I think I had some horses and sheep pretty close by last night, because I did hear some noises. Worried about the Dartmoor cat I was. Anyway, it's about 6:30 in the morning, and I am going to walk over to those hills over there in the distance, where I'll make my coffee and breakfast I've got to warm up for. Fucking hands are freezing. There's Merrivale, first thing in the morning. 8 o'clock it is. It's actually, once you get out of the shade, it's beautiful. You can see there's just tors surrounded by big granite tors everywhere. It's amazing. Anyway, I am headed over there. I'll try to talk myself out of it and having a coffee here, but I'll keep to my plan, otherwise it fucks my videos up. I got some new friends that, I don't know what his name is. Oh, he's a good catch. Hello mate, there's another one somewhere. He's just turned up. I'm at the Dartmoor Inn. I've just sorted my top out because it's getting a bit warm already. Say hello. Oh, oh, oh. So, normally I'm on top of Roos Tor. Roos Tor's right there, so it's right next to it. It's a little bit closer. It's out of the wind here, but it's fucking freezing in the shade. I got some Merrivale, Leet, or whatever that stream was that looks like it's been around for centuries, thousands of years. I took some water from that. It fucking smells really nice. And I've got a life straw. I'm going to use a life straw to filter this water. And then I'm going to make some coffee with it. And hopefully, all going well, I'm not quite in view here, some pancakes. I bought a pancake mix, so I'm super excited about that. Now this, apparently, here we go. How clear is that? Looks the same. 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Wasn't timing it, didn't take very long. What's it taste like? So this is river water or stream water. Chlorine free, that's what it tastes like. I actually had a bottle of tap water with me that I bought just short of 2 litres of water with me. It's almost all gone. And half a litre was in a Lucozade bottle like this. And I filtered it. I thought it was the river water, and this is the river water. And I was like, oh fuck, it's all chlorine-y. How could that be? It must be the filter. This, I mean, I don't know how safe it is. Find out, won't we? But it tastes of nothing. You know, it taste of water. It's nice. It's quite sweet. Pancake mix. I've got some flour. I'll put some dried fruit in there. There's some chocolate in there. It's bread flour I've used. I've also got sugar, bit of salt, a bit of almond powder, my favourite. And I've got some butter. And it's a long story about the butter because I got halfway down the road from Yelverton and realised I'd forgotten butter and fat. Put some butter. And so I had to go buy a pack, go all the way back to Yelverton where there's some shops. I bought a whole fucking packet of butter. That brought me to extra weight, but never mind. You can always do with more butter. Anyway, I'm gonna spend 10 minutes just kneading that in while my coffee over there boils, and got espresso as well, living it up large. And then I'm gonna use some of that river water that I've just filtered. Add that in here. Butter is frozen solid from last night. And my coffee is done. So I'm going to knead that, make this into a batter, and see if I can make some pancakes. Okay, so I've added some water, and now I've got a nice thick, gooey batter. And there's about, in there, how much did I put in? About 150 grams of flour, maybe 20 grams of sugar, handful of sultanas, handful of chocolate chips, milk chocolate chip, and 10 grams of almond powder. That's what's in there. 100 ml of water, maybe, guessing. And now I'm going to heat some fat, heat some butter. I was going to bring some lard. Heat some butter on my pan, and hopefully they come out. This will just pour out now. Hopefully it comes out as a pancake. It's all about the calories. Although to be fair, I don't have that far to walk. I just wanted to see if this worked. Down a bit. And I think I overdid the fruit and chocolate. But we shall see. Little experiment. And where am I? So that's Roos Tor. I don't quite make it there, as always. But this is another tour. Here's hill. Distance. That's where my destination is. It'll take me an hour or so to get there, I expect. That is Tavistock. Alright, I've cooked it, but I think I might need to practice on the recipe a bit and maybe not include the fruit and chocolate and add that afterwards. So I've got it's like kind of like a cake mixture, and it tastes very, very nice. It tastes like fruit bread. There you go, like fruit bread. Yeah. And it'll be packed with calories. Now, I don't know if that's a good solution to carrying food, carrying things like a dry batter mix, but I think it's something I'm going to experiment with. Right, I'm going to eat this, have a coffee, probably going to have a joint as well while I'm up here as well, and then I'm going to walk home. Hey. So I've officially entered Tavistock. It is a market and stannery town, did you know? It's probably the biggest town probably on Dartmoor. Made it to Tavistock. And I'm getting more confident with the camera because I'm doing it with people around. It's a lot busier here than most places on Dartmoor, although there are some places in North Dartmoor I've never been to. Planning to go there next week with a TNT listener. Big shout out to TNT Radio, tntradio.live. Don't forget to tune in. Buzz is a TNT listener. He's been out shopping for stuff. It all gets a bit competitive, and he's planning to come on a 3-dayer with me. So hopefully the weather's better than, or hopefully the weather's like this, but it's not as cold as last night where it dropped below 0. Anyway, this is Tavistock. This is just a short trip, about 16 miles in total, plus a load of tours and stuff on top of that. Just a bit of climbing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, cheers.